This is Rod, Appraiser Broker, and we're looking at the horse properties that are available today. It is tax day, April 15th, 2019, and there appears to be a shortage of horse properties in North Utah County. Let's look at some of the other parts of the state and see how things are going. So if we do a search, and of course we can feature your property right here on Utah Horse Property and get you top dollar out of your property. I had horses years ago. We raised them for a number of years, and let's just take a look and see what there is across the state. Let's take a look in Salt Lake County, for example. And what we're going to do is we're going to make a change here and look in Salt Lake County and see if there's anything in the way of horse properties that's under $500,000. And what we're going to do is we're going to go down here, make sure we've got horse property checked. And it says there's 302 of those found, but that's not necessarily in Salt Lake. If we check all those in Salt Lake, it looks like there's 18 horse properties available under $500,000 in Salt Lake County. Of course, if we take that off of there and we go all the way up to 20 million, there's 66 horse properties found in Salt Lake County. If we're looking at other parts of the state, let's say that we want to look down in, let's see, if we look in Utah County, see how many there are. Well, throughout the state, it looks like there's 635 horse properties. If we look in Utah County, there's 77. Let's look at some of these other places. Well, let's say you wanted to go clear down to Paiute County. If you were looking down there, it doesn't show that there's any listed right now. What if you wanted to go up by Bear Lake? Don't see any up there. Check that, 17. Okay, there are 17 of those found. Like I said, through all of the state of Utah, and you'd have to be checking these one at a time to be able to check those. There's 635. But let's look at some of these counties. Some people want to look up in Cache County. Cache County, there are 27 horse properties available. Let's look at Davis County. In Davis County, there are 19 horse properties available. If you're looking, for example, up in Weber County, there are right now 50 horse properties available. There's a few more up there. And let's say you want to go further north, you're willing to be a little bit more rural. Up in Box Elder County, there should be some available, 17 up there. If you get down to Cache County or Sanpete County, let's take a look in Sanpete County and see how many horse properties there are. Let's select all of it. There's 37 horse properties, and chances are most of those are going to be a lot less expensive than a lot of places because it's further away from Salt Lake and it's south of Utah County a little ways. Wow, look at that. There's a property available. It says horse property because it's got 0.66 acres, but that house looks pretty, well, the yard looks pretty dry, and but that may work for you. That's on up in Centerfield. That's down by Gunnison. Here's another one in Fayette, 150,000. Those are going to be some of your less expensive horse properties in the state that are not more than an hour and a half away from the main part of the Wasatch Front. Now you get up into north Sanpete County in the Fairview area. Here's one 3.5 acres, 3.4 acres. It's small, the home on it. It's only got 960 square feet, but it's got 3 bedrooms and a bathroom. 169,000. That might work for you. If it does, give me a call. But one of the things you might want to notice here, it says mountain cabin. Chances are you've got to have cash to buy that because a lot of those properties are not. It says it's in a gated community, but if it says cabin, a lot of those don't have year-round access and utilities. So here's another one down in Centerfield, another one in Centerfield. Looks like Centerfield is selling, people are moving, willing to sell their properties. Here's another one in Fairview that sits on 3.5 acres with $250,000. Here's one in Mount Pleasant, another one in Mount Pleasant that looks like a cabin. Yep. Here's a manufactured home in Manti for $275,000. And here's one in Centerfield. That's the 4th one that we've seen in Centerfield. all under $300,000. Here's one in Sterling. Most people have never heard of Sterling. It's in between Manti and Gunnison. But that's on 1.5 acres. Looks like a nice big home. It's got, well, it says it's got 2,180 square feet, so that sticks up, but it's really just a rambler. This is probably the back end of that. Maybe. I guess it's possible that could be a two-story. I'm not going to take a look at all of that, but here's one in Mount Pleasant. 2,800 square feet, sits on 5 acres, and it's only $299,000. So you've got a good-sized house on 5 acres there. And but notice, great family home on 5 acres, or a cabin getaway nested in the Manti LaSalle Mountains. Water, power, internet, and year-round access. Well, that's good. So 300,000, cabin, and it's a home to live in. Here's another one in Axtell. That's down south of Gunnison. Here's one in Indianola. Another one in Fairview, Wales. Spring City. Property there in Spring City. Got a little over 2,100 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, 3.66 acres, so a little over 3.5 acres. Now we're getting up into some more expensive. Look, there's a beautiful home. Sits on 0.5 acres, and this is in Gunnison. So it's down there, and looks a little bit drier. That actually looks like the front yard, but it doesn't look very lively. Like maybe there's not a lot of grass in there, but it says it was built in 2001, so that almost been there for 18 years. And trying to figure this one out. I thought that looked like a picture rather than a photo. Built in 2019, brand new luxury mountain living. Okay, so that's really one that's probably not built. Here's one in Moroni on 40 acres. There you go, 40 acres in Moroni, quarter of a quarter section, and $500,000. It's a big home, 4,400 square feet. So if you want to get some acreage down there in Moroni, there you go. And if you like turkeys, they've got lots of turkeys down there. Sometimes you can be close enough to hear them. I will laugh because sometimes you can be close enough to smell them also. And here's one for $500,000. That seems to be the top of the price range down there. And nope, there looks like we've got a second page. But that's in Mount Pleasant on 17 acres, 7 bedrooms, 6 baths, and so that's going to be a pretty good sized home. If we go to this second page, oh, there are others. There are others. Going all the way up, well, that makes sense. There's usually been properties that are up in the millions down in San Pete County. It looks like there's a few of them. So the top of the list is really over in Ephraim. This has 254 acres. There's 660 square acres in a square mile, and or acres in a square mile. So if you really want a big property that you'll have room to expand, and maybe someday that'll all develop down there, I'm not going to bet on that, but if you want a good size ranch with a few hundred acres and you've got $2.6 million, 2.6 and 50,000, so $2,650,000 there you go. And you've got a big home with lots of acreage, and that's available too on UtahHorseProperty.com. Anyway, you can look all over the state. Remember, when you're doing a search for horse properties, just click search all listings. Make sure that you go down here and check horse property, and then narrow it down to the county where you're wanting to look. So if you want to look at a place that maybe not everybody does, for example, up in Morgan County, and you look there, there's 10 properties. That's not a cheap place to live. Those are properties ranging from, it looks like, oh, they've got one under 300,000, 295,000, up to $2.5 million. And but I'm happy to help you when you've got a horse property to sell. And if you want some help looking or some advice, feel free to give me a call. I'm Rod, Appraiser Broker, Appraiser 29 years, agent and broker 27 years. This is my site, UtahHorseProperty.com, and I'm happy to help you. Have a wonderful day.